Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to do some questions that have come up in TCS NQT, that is National Qualified Test, as organized by TCS every year for the graduates so that they can begin their careers in this giant MNC that we have in our nation. Okay. So important thing regarding TCS NQT question paper is the sections that they ask. So they ask five sections. They have a programming ability section, a English MCQ, that is a verbals portion. They have a portion for pseudocode where they'll give you three, four choices of programming languages and you can choose accordingly to work with. Then you have a portion for logical ability and you have a portion for aptitude. Our concern today is going to be the set B of the aptitude that had come up this year in year 2020, what the question paper was and how the questions were asked, what type of questions were there in the paper. That is what we are going to deal with. One important thing here is that the difficulty level was not very difficult. It was a moderate level paper. The questions were asked on a moderate level. Some questions were easy, some were moderate, but they were not much difficult questions. Also, the paper has come up in sets. So there were three sets, set A, B, and C. Today we are going to do set B questions, some questions that were there in set B aptitude for TCS NQT, and we are going to begin with the questions. We will see what the questions was. The analysis usually is saying that the paper was not difficult. It was a moderate level difficulty question paper that was set up, and we are going to look at the question. First question. Incomes of A and B are in the ratio of 5 is to 4. Expenses are in the ratio of 14 is to 11. If both A and B save rupees 1000 each, then what is A's income? Okay, easy question based on ratios they have given us. First, they have given us ratio of A is to B, and if we talk about the income, it's 5 is to 4. First ratio given to us, income 5 is to 4. Let's say their incomes are 5x and 4x. Okay, next thing. Same way, expenditure A is to B. Expenditure it is given to us. Ratio given to us is 14 is to 11. That means it is 14x and 11x. Okay, now next thing, let's not take x because x we have already taken for income. We can take y. So let's make it as 14y and 11y so that when we do the further calculation, it will be easier for us to analyze things. Okay, now expenditure of A is 14y and expenditure of B is 11y. Savings, I know saving is equal to income minus expenditure. Saving is income minus expenditure. So for A, if I talk about savings of A, it will be 5x minus 11 minus 14y, which is why I was taking different variables. Some of us, we do this mistake, we take the same variables and then when we do the calculations, we get stuck up there. Okay, now this is equals to 1000 because both of them are saving 1000 rupees each. First equation. Second, if we talk about savings of B, it's 4x minus 11y. That is also equal to 1000. Second equation. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to solve these two equations. Let's solve out these two equations. Either I can multiply the first equation by 11 or I can multiply the second equation by 14 and we can do this way. Either you can go by the elimination method, also substituting the variables. Any way which we do, we'll get the same answer. So my x would come out to be 3000 and with that my A's income A's income becomes 5 into 3000, that is 15,000. So accordingly, I can find out A's income comes out to be 15,000. I can eliminate y from here so that y goes out and only equation remains in terms of x so that it becomes easier for us to solve. I need not go for solving two or three equations again and again. Either multiply first equation by 14 or multiply this equation by 11 and get the answer. Directly you'll have the value of x. X comes out to be 3000. A's income is 5x. 5 into 3000, answer directly is 15,000. My answer is, what is A's income? It is 15,000. Important thing is solving the equation correct. Next, a quadrilateral is formed with the coordinates given to us. It's minus 2 4 minus 2 0 0 0 and 0 minus 4. Okay, quadrilateral is formed. Another rectangle is formed between the coordinates 0 minus 12 5 12 0 0 and 5 0. Okay, common diagonal is drawn simultaneously for both the rectangles together. What is the slope of the quadrilateral? Okay, now slope, we need to ask what is the slope of the quadrilateral. Basically what they're trying to ask me is what is the slope of the quadrilateral. That means the common diagonal that is being talked about, what is that common diagonal? The common diagonal is what is the slope of the quadrilateral. So a lot of students, they would get confused with what is the slope of the quadrilateral. Basically slope of the quadrilateral is the common diagonal that is being talked about. Okay, now if we try drawing the figure, if we try just have a rough idea of what the figure is being talking about. 0 0, now minus 2 4, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here I'm taking it 5, 10, 15, and 20. And along the x-axis, I'm going minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Accordingly, other side we can go plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, and plus 5. Similarly, going down minus 5, minus 10, minus 15, and minus 20. Okay, none of the coordinates are greater than 15 also, so this is going to work out nice. Right, 0 0 is done. So then next is minus 2 4. If we talk about the first quadrilateral, minus 2 and 4. Okay, minus 2 and 4 somewhere here. Okay, now minus 2 and 4, minus 2 and 0 here, then 0 0 and 0 minus 4. This is what is being drawn as one quadrilateral. This is my first quadrilateral that is being drawn. Accordingly, if we draw the other quadrilateral, then it is 0 minus 12 somewhere down, then 5 12 somewhere here up, then we have 0 0 and 5 0. Okay, now joining out all of them, when we try to look at the common diagonal, this diagonal along the x axis is what is the common diagonal. Okay, so what they want to know, the common diagonal, what is the slope of the quadrilateral, is actually what is the common diagonal. So common diagonal is x equals to 0, and if I know the slope of x equals to 0, slope is 0. So for this question, my answer is 0. So what is the slope of the diagonal? Basically asking what is the common diagonal. Common diagonal is my x-axis, and slope of x-axis or y equal to 0, whatever you want to call it, it is going to be 0 only. Okay, now next. The current age difference between two people is 25. Okay, now 9 years before, the elder one's age was 6 times than that of the younger one. What is the sum of their current ages? Okay, let x and y be the ages. Difference is given 25, so x minus y equals to 25. Now next thing, 9 years before the elder one's age, 9 years before, x minus 9, y minus 9. It was 6 times that of the younger one. Okay, 9 years before, it was 6 times that of the younger one. What is the sum of the current ages? Okay, so we have two equations, we have two variables. When we will solve this, we'll get the value of y. See, it's always 9 years before. 9 years before. So before, whenever it is given to you, before has to be subtraction and after has to be addition. So if someone is saying 9 years before or 9 years in the past, or if they tell you that time, you have to do negative, or if they tell you 9 years after or 9 years hence, it has to be always addition. So y from here comes out to be 14 years, and when you will solve it accordingly, x comes out to be 39 years. So what is the sum of their current ages? The current ages comes out to be 14 plus 39. When you will do this, comes out to be 53 years. So present sum of the ages, it's 14 plus 39, that is 53 years. My answer is option A. Okay, next question. A very special island is inhabited by knights and knaves. Knights always tell the truth, knaves always lie. Important thing. Knights tell the truth, knaves always lie. Four inhabitants talked about, and the conditions that they're talking about. Usha tells you Isha is a knave. Isha tells you Asha is a knave. Nisha claims Isha is a knight and Asha is a knave. Asha tells you I and Nisha are different. Identify the knaves. Okay. These type of questions can always be solved only if you're forming a table and assuming that one of them is telling the truth. Okay. So I'm going to draw the table like said by knights, because I know that knights always tell the truth, and knaves, they tell a lie. Okay. So said by, I'm going to assume that Usha is saying the truth. If our assumption is wrong somewhere, it will come out to be wrong in the subsequent steps. So need not worry about why assuming Usha to be telling the truth. If assumption is wrong, it can come out to be wrong in the subsequent steps. Okay. So, assuming that Usha says the truth, that means Usha is saying the truth, and I know those who say the truth, they are the knights. So, Usha becomes a knight. And Usha is saying that Isha is a knave. So, knave comes out to be accordingly Isha. Now, next, Isha tells Asha is a knave, said by Isha. Isha says that Asha is a knave. Now, according to the assumption that Usha is telling the truth, Isha is a knave. That means whatever Isha is telling, that is a lie. Isha tells Asha is a knave. That means Asha is not a knave. Asha is a knight. Okay, now, next thing. If we talk about Nisha, Nisha claims Isha and I are different. Isha and I are different. So Isha and I are different, but Isha is actually telling the lie. That means Isha is a knave. Now, Nisha accordingly says Isha is a knight and Asha is a knave. Okay, so Isha and I are different. Accordingly, all that conditions, if we are going to put up, we figure out that Nisha is going to lie because the argument is contradictory to the assumption. The argument given by Nisha is contradictory to the assumption. Since we have assumed Usha is telling the lie, everything with respect to that is going to come up. Now, next thing, Asha. Asha says I and Nisha are different. Now, since Nisha is a knave, Asha becomes a knight. I need to identify who the knaves are. According to my table that we have formed, Isha and Nisha become knave. Isha and Nisha is given in the option. Okay, so the assumption that we did, Usha is telling the truth. That is correct. My answer is option C. That is Isha and Nisha are knaves. So our assumption that we did, that was correct. Important thing is always need to assume one of them is telling the truth. Otherwise, we'll not be able to progress with the question. Next question. 100 students appeared for two different examinations. 60 passed the first, 50 passed the second, and 30 passed both. Find the probability students selected at random failed in both the test. Okay, now this question could be done using a Venn diagram very easily. So we're going to do it using a Venn diagram only. Let's draw a Venn diagram. Universal set is 100, that is students are 100 in the class. First subject 60 passed all of that, 50 passed the second, and the area that is between, that is the common area, 30 passed both of them. That means those who passed only the first subject is 30, and those who passed in only the second subject, that is 20. 30 passed in both of them. Find the probability students selected at random failed in both the examination. Okay. Now this area outside the Venn diagram, the circles is those who failed. So if I find out the student who failed, total class 100 minus those who passed in first subject minus those who passed in second subject minus those who passed in both the subjects. So it becomes 100 minus 30 minus 30 minus 20. So students who failed in both the examination comes out to be 20. Now I need to find the probability of failing in both. It becomes those who failed in both 20 divided by what is the total is 100. My answer becomes 1 by 5, option C. Very simple, could be done using a Venn diagram, not at all difficult, becomes 1 by C, that is 0.2. Okay, next. There are 10 points on a straight line AB and 8 on another straight line AC, none of them being point A. Okay, so there are some lines that are on point A, on line AB, some on line AC. Okay, how many triangles can be formed with these points as vertices? Okay, 10 points here and 8 points here. To form a triangle, I need 3 points. To form a triangle, I'll be needing 3 points. So what I can do is either I can select 2 points from AC and 1 from AB, or I can select 1 point from AC and 2 from AB. Only then I'll be able to form a triangle. If I select all the 3 from AC or all the 3 from AB, I'm not going to form a triangle. So to form a triangle, I need to have 2 points from AC and 1 from AB, and 2 points from AB and 1 from AC. Both these ways they can be the possibility of forming a triangle. Now, what I have to do? I have to do selection. It's not selection plus arrangement, it is just selection. So when I'm going to do just selection, I'm going to use combination. So my answer here becomes, for the first case, this is my case 1, this is my case 2. First case, 2 points from AC and 1 point from AB. AC I have 10 points on the straight line AB given to me, 8 points on the straight line AC given to me. Okay, so 2 points from AC. If we select, it becomes 8C2, and this there is a big and in between. I need the first set and I need the second set. So whenever it is and, I need to do the multiplication. 1 from AB, so that becomes 10C1. So when I do this, when I do the multiplication, second, 1 point from AC. AC, there are 8 points, so that becomes 8C1 into 2 from AB. AB is 10 points, 10C2. Okay, now I need to form triangles. So either first case or second will give me a triangle. Now here it was and. Whenever you will do anding, we do multiplications. Whenever we do oring, we do addition. So either the first or the second case is going to give me a triangle. So answer from the first case plus answer from the second case is how many triangles I'm going to have. So when we do the additions, when we do the solving, my answer would come out to be 640. So number of triangles that are formed comes out to be 640. Very easy. Just need to consider that if I'm forming a triangle, there has to be 2 points from one line and 1 from the other line. All 3 cannot be on the same line. I cannot have 3 collinear points and form a triangle. They can be just 2 collinear points and 1 point from outside the line. Okay, next. From a bag, 8 green and 5 red balls, there are 3 are drawn one after the other. The probability of all 3 balls being green, if the balls drawn are replaced before the next ball is picked and the ball drawn are not replaced are respectively. Okay, now probability of getting with replacement I'm talking about first. 8 green and 5 red. With replacement, if we do the first thing, it is going to be 8 by 13. I need a green ball. Next, again, it becomes 8 by 13 into 8 by 13. If the ball that is picked before the replacement and not the replacement. Okay, so first I'm going to do the replacement. With replacement becomes 8 by 13. Getting one green ball is 8 by 13. Again, because it is replaced, becomes 8 by 13, and 8 by 13 when you do this becomes 512 divided by 2197. Okay, now without replacement, if we talk about without replacement, first probability is 8 by 13, that is okay. Next, now it is not replaced, so one green ball is reduced and total number of ball is also reduced, becomes 7 by 12. Now again, it is not replaced, so one green ball reduced, total number of ball also reduces by 1. When you do this multiplication, it becomes 336 divided by 1716. So my answer is B, 512, comma 2197. Okay, 336 divided by 1716. Okay, my answer is option B. Next question. Find the greatest number which will divide 148, 246, 623, leaving remainders 4, 6, 11 respectively. Okay. So we need to find the number that will divide the given numbers, leaving a particular remainder. That is our objective. Statement simply means we need to find out the HCF. And what HCF we need to find out? We need to find the HCF of 148 minus 4, 246 minus 6, and 623 minus 11, because these are the remainders that are obtained after a particular division. So HCF of 144, 240, and 612 is what they are looking for. Okay, so we need to find the HCF. HCF of all these numbers, we know how to find the HCF. HCF is going to be 12. HCF of these numbers, we know how to find HCF. 144, we can do the prime factorization. It is 2 power 4 into 3 power 2. Now 240, if we do the prime factorization, it is 20 into 12. Again, I can split that as 2 power 4 into 3 into 5. 612. 612 can be done as 2 power 2 into 3 power 2 into 17. Okay, common 2 square, and HCF we know already. HCF is taking each variable that is common to the lowest power. So this becomes 2 power 2 into 3. My HCF comes out to be 12. Answer is B, 12. Next question. A mother and her little daughter and her just born infant boy together stood on a weighting scale showing 74 kg. How much does the daughter weigh if the mother weighs 46 kg more than the combined weight of daughter and the infant, and infant weighs 60% less than the daughter? Okay, now a lot of variables can be assumed here, but let's go for simple assumptions. Daughter's weight, let's take that to be equal to x. Okay, infant is 60% less than daughter given to us. So if I talk about infant, 60% less means x minus 60% of x. Simply, we should write it as 0.4x. Okay, infant is x minus 60% of x, 0.4x. Okay, now mother's weight. Mother's weight is 46% more than combined weight of daughter and the infant. 46 kg plus daughter plus infant. Okay, this is the mother's weight. Now, total weight. Total weight is daughter plus infant plus mother. Mother is 46 plus x plus 0.4x. All of that is equals to 74 kg. Now, solving the equation, when we will solve all of this out, when all the variables will be sorted, x comes out to be 10. So, what was x? X was my daughter's weight, and that is asked in the question. How much does the daughter weigh? That is what the question is. I directly got my answer. My answer is 10. So my daughter's weight is 10 kg. Answer is option B. Okay. Simply important thing was to consider different weights, and when we are adding them, correct values need to be added. Okay. Next question. Thomas takes 7 days to paint a house completely, whereas Raj would require 9 days to paint the same house completely. How many days would it take to paint the house if both of them work together? Very simple. Okay. So Thomas is taking 7 days, Raj is taking 9 days. Together, how much work they'll be doing? That will be LCM of 7 and 9. It is equals to 63. So they have to do 63 units of work. Efficiency of Thomas, 9 units per day. Efficiency of Raj, 7 units per day. Together they are working. That means in one day they are doing 9 plus 7, that is 16 units per day. Now, time taken is directly 63 units they have to do. They're doing 16 units per day. Time taken would be equal to 63 by 16, which you can say it is approximately equal to 4 days. 16 4 times 64, approximately answer would come out to be equal to 4 days. My answer is C, that is 4 days.